If you want to have a healthy democracy, you need to get people involved in the community and politics. But right now, that's a problem in Texas. That's the finding of a new report from UT's Annette Strauss Institute. It measured the Civic Health Index. The state ranks in the bottom quarter when it comes to donating and volunteering. The report found that less than half of Texans donate at least $25 to charity annually, and less than a quarter do volunteer work. The report found Texas ranks 47th out of 50 states when it comes to voter turnout. That's actually an improvement from a previous study where Texas ranked last. For some insight, we're joined by Susan Knoll, the director of the Strauss Institute, and Valerie Salinas Davis, the founder and CEO of Enviro Media. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So first off, talk to me about what civic health is, really. I don't think a lot of people understand the term.
Civic health is sort of a way of tracking or measuring, kind of quantifying our connections to each other and the degree to which we as Texans take actions for each other. In our report, we define this by looking at three key elements. One is political participation. Do we vote? Are we registered? Are we talking about politics? Are we contacting elected officials? The second measure is philanthropy and community service. So are we donating to charitable causes? Are we giving our time? Are we joining groups? And the final sort of measure is this idea of social connectedness and neighborliness. Do we know our neighbors? Are we doing favors for our neighbors? Do we trust our neighbors? So when you look at all three of those elements together, you get an overall picture of what Texans are doing to sort of show up and be there for each other.
Why aren't more people getting involved with something like this? You know, I mean, just it seems like it's very, very important, and not enough people are taking part in civic life.
Well, you're absolutely right, and that is one of the most important findings from the report overall, is that in every one of these categories, there's a lot more we need to be doing as Texans. The reasons are many. One of them for Texas is just that we are a very large state. We have a lot of people here. We're a mobile state. We're a growing state. And so as we bring new Texans in, as people move here from other states or other countries, we need to make sure that our institutions and our organizations and our citizens are bringing them into the fold, getting them connected to their voter registrations through their local county or through community groups and organizations.
You know, some people might see a study and kind of shrug their shoulders about it, but you know, groups like yours are really taking this as a call to action, right?
Well, as a business owner, I'm not shrugging my shoulders because I'm also a member of the Texas Association of Business, who puts out a sharp eye looking at what is going on with legislators and election cycles and looking at what is best for business. And as a business, I found one thing, perhaps the most compelling from the report, was that the second biggest reason or barrier for voting in 2016 was being too busy with work and school. And so as an employer, what can I do to help remove those barriers and help encourage my fellow business owners, business leaders to help remove those barriers as well?
Yeah, specifically, I mean, does that kind of mean changing the workday for employees, or, you know, time off, anything like that? How do you get your employees more involved in voting and civic life?
Right. So my company has always given employees time off. In our case, we give up to 2 hours to go vote. I really encourage early voting, and also for the younger employees, which Susan's report shows that younger Texans don't have the best voting record, not really, you can't mandate voting, but make it relevant. I understand that young people want to know that their vote counts, that their vote makes a difference. And so have conversations, coffee room conversations about what's relevant and what they care about, and that could tie into voting.
Any pushback, you know, is this a partisan issue so far that you've seen?
You know, another thing I think that's important about a report like this is that we are not partisan. We are coming at it from a standpoint of how citizens can be engaged in their communities and in their elections. If we cede this conversation about voting only to partisans, then we're missing out on a really important public conversation this state needs to have. So I would encourage citizens who aren't elected in office or not advocating for a particular outcome of the election to recognize the importance of just putting these issues out there, talking about them with each other, and realizing that just participation in the process and making the process easy for folks to participate is something many of us can get behind.
Yeah, I totally agree. No matter what side you're on, taking part in something is really important. That's why we do this show.
And thank you for highlighting this important issue.
Thank you both for being with us.
Thank you.